A big moment ahead for the big schools. It's time for the 3A semifinals here at the Girls State Soccer Tournament at Lead Recreational Fields in Ames, Iowa. Welcome to this afternoon's coverage here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, brought to you by Farm Bureau. Looking forward to what should be a great clash in the semis between the Bettendorf Bulldogs and the defending 3A champion Waukee Northwest Wolves. Good afternoon, soccer fans. It's great to have you aboard our show here this afternoon. I'm Ben Gislason alongside my wife, Natalie Gislason, former Valley Tiger standout. And Natalie, a team in Waukee Northwest. We were just talking to your old coach, Rob Chapman. He knows it. Everybody knows it. Waukee Northwest, they're the team to beat.
The team to beat. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to watch some 3A soccer. When I played soccer, Valley Northwest was a farmland, just fields. So they've had an outstanding season. They've had an outstanding last 5 seasons in their 5 years since they've been at school. So I'm excited to see what they're going to show today.
Looking forward to the opening kickoff. When we come back, we'll get you introduced to the starters, all the lineups, and the officials here on a beautiful, sunny afternoon in Ames. The 3A semifinals set to begin next.
Good afternoon, soccer fans. Welcome to this 2026 Girls State Soccer Semifinal presented by Iowa Farm Bureau. Today's matchup features the Bettendorf Bulldogs and the Waukee Northwest Wolves. It's now time to introduce the players in today's semifinal matchup. First, the non-starters for Bettendorf. Number 3, Olivia Anderson. Number 4, Marley Griffin. Number 5, Rachel Harris. Number 8, Charlie Cox. Number 9, Naya Grish. Number 12, Sadie Honan. Number 15, Hayden Kohler. Number 16, Brielle Wilson. Number 18, Clara Cox. Number 20, Caitlin Fritz. The assistant coaches, John Keith, Anna Doherty, and J.J. Gonzalez Hayes. Now let's meet the non-starters for Waukee Northwest. Number 4, Alexa Guthrie. Number 6, Peyton Gibson. Number 14, Henry Waller. Number 16, Ella Birch. Number 22, Sophie Olson. Number 24, Reese Child. The assistant coaches, Randy Smith, Jonathan Valley, Jonathan Kerr, Trent Michael, and Scott Tribby. Now let's meet the starters. First, for the Bulldogs. Number 2, Emily Martin. Number 6, Avery Williams. Number 7, Addison Wolfel. Number 10, Taylor Engels. Number 11, Kelsey Smith. Number 13, Kaylin Stiles Pena. Number 4, Caitlin Kingman. Number 21, Haley Ingles. Number 22, Destiny Borland. Number 76, Olivia Snow. And the goalie, number 34, Riley Sweetman. The head coach is Allison Saney. Now let's introduce the starters for Waukee Northwest. Number 2, Reese Retker. Number 3, Annie Sunday. Number 5, Colonel Shea. Number 7, Cadence Baldwin. Number 8, Kinsey Shea. Number 9, Grace Hunter. Number 10, Cora Sunday. Number 11, Natalie Elliott. Number 15, Izzy Simonini. Number 25, Romy Crow. And the goalie, number 0, Grace Thomason. The head coach is Tony Gabriel. Ladies and gentlemen, our officials for this match. Your referee, Rob Sorry. Your AR1, Matt Ryder. Your AR2, Daniel Tribble. And your fourth official, Ryan Watkins. Fans, it's now time to play state tournament soccer.
The 3A final is tomorrow. The 3A semifinals are today. A couple of big matchups here this afternoon. The field behind us, a big battle between West Des Moines Valley and Ankeny Centennial. And here we've got Waukee Northwest looking to stay undefeated since 2024. They lost here at the state semifinals to Valley. This was in Muscatine the last time they've lost. They have not lost here in the year and a half, let's call it, history of this tournament here in Ames, and they'll try to stay perfect here this afternoon, taking on the Bettendorf Bulldogs. Natalie, if you are in the boots of the Bettendorf Bulldogs, how do you slay the dragon or the wolves today?
Absolutely. What you're looking for here is the best players on Waukee Northwest, the playmakers, and you shut them down. There is always at least one, if not two girls on those players, so they get frustrated. And when you have those players that are your goal scorers or your killer good defenders and you're all over them, then they get frustrated, and then the rest of the team gets frustrated because they can't do the work that they're normally used to doing when those players are at full capacity. So it's all about shutting down the playmakers.
Now for Bettendorf, the playmakers are number 13, number 76, both with brilliant years. Kaylin Stiles Pena, 17-game starter with 18 goals. Olivia Snow started 19 games. She has 18 tallies on the year. Minnesota State Mankato commit. They'll be the players to mark for Waukee Northwest. And for a Wolves team, you shouldn't be surprised. A club that's had this much success, they're awfully deep. Their two leading scorers in Cora Sundit and Izzy Simonini, 11 goals apiece. But Natalie, they're scoring all over this Wolves roster.
And that's what makes them such a good team is they don't have just one or two standouts. They have 11 significantly good players. And that's how you win a 7-0 game, or I think that's what their last game was. They are a cohesive unit, and that is a key strength when it comes to soccer.
They had 7 different goal scorers in that game when they went 7-0 past Dubuque Hempstead in the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, Bettendorf came from behind. They were down 2-0. They scored 4 unanswered goals to win 4-2 in the quarterfinals as they were able to take down Waukee. So they're trying to beat the other half of Waukee here this afternoon. And we'll see who comes away with the upper hand headed towards the state final tomorrow.
To start, I love Bettendorf's enthusiasm and their disposition. When they were having the captain's meeting, all 3 just looked elated to be here. The coaches are excited. The second that ball went on to the pitch, they are screaming and yelling. They're talking. Their bench is talking. They're cheering. You can hear it. They are fired up to be in this game.
Waukee Northwest in blue. They will attack right to left here for the first half. Bettendorf in white, black, and gold.
The first observation I've seen with Waukee Northwest is how short their bench is. There's only 6 players for subs, that's a real small bench. So wondering if that'll play into it at all, or if they just have a really good capacity for strength and movement over an 80-minute period.
Lean and mean, this Wolves roster. It has worked well for Tony Gabriel, who's been here 5 times in 5 years since Waukee split and became both Waukee and Waukee Northwest.
Outstanding run so far for Waukee Northwest, certainly making a name for themselves early in their career as a soccer team.
Touch now for Emily Martin, the sophomore. Physical soccer along the touchline. Winning that was Kelsey Smith, as Bettendorf has had most of the ball early on in this young game. Nifty move there to cut away from pressure by Caitlin Kingma. That one goes towards the goal line, and before the attacking Kaylin Stiles Pena could get there, the senior Grace Thomason gets there, who is committed to Drake University, where you played your college soccer, Natalie.
This game is already physical and fast. My goodness. these 3A schools are really showing why they are the powerhouses, the top 4 in the state of Iowa for their class. And this is going to be quite a terrific game because it's also been split pretty 50-50.
One loss between the two teams. Waukee Northwest 12-0-3 coming into this contest today. Meanwhile, Bettendorf 16-1-3 from the eastern side of the state.
Right off the bat, I'm just noticing the size discrepancy. Bettendorf is a tall team, but I would say that Waukee Northwest is quite a mighty team. You can tell there's just a lot of strength on the field between the two teams. So again, I think it's going to be a pretty competitive matchup between the 22 players.
One of the first things you notice looking at the numbers of this Northwest team is Izzy Simonini on the year, 11 goals. She's playing on the outside of the back 4.
See, when you're that good as a team, then you're going to have defenders that have more goals than I did my senior year as a center midfielder.
Wolves team that will get set for a set piece here, and it'll be the aforementioned Simonini, who had a goal and an assist in the 7-0 win over Dubuque Hempstead in the quarterfinals. Getting set to deliver the first set piece of the afternoon. Here it comes, the left-footed Simonini puts one in towards that far post, off of a head and out of play, and this will be a corner kick coming up here for the number 1 ranked Wolves.
So that kick was exactly what you should be doing from that spot, getting the ball in the air. The whole team crashes the net, trying to get a head on it, and that's exactly what happened. It just happened to be the defense instead of the offense.
Kinsey Shea, who's got a sister Kinley on this team, will take the corner kick, brought to you by Channel Seeds.
That's something neat that we've seen throughout the whole tournament, is a lot of sisters on these teams.
Nice intercept in the box made by Addison Wolfel, and now speeding ahead. Bettendorf was trying to counterattack with Stiles Pena, who gets in the way of that attempted clear, and Bettendorf gets it back. And you're right, partner, a very vocal group to our left in Bettendorf trying to keep the spirits high.
And doing a great job. Earlier I said 50-50, but then I thought about it a little bit more, and I thought, no, Bettendorf really has had the ball a lot more, especially on our half that we're seeing here to the right of us. So continue to press, because I think it's getting Waukee a little frustrated, just like we talked about in our opening.
On a Bettendorf team that will remember a year ago on these fields, this is where their state tournament came to a close in the quarterfinals, a 3-0 win for Waukee Northwest. And you know, when you look at some of the seniors and the juniors on this Bulldogs roster, they had the Wolves circled all season long, didn't they?
Exactly. Their goal was to play a great season and to get to this spot, and their goal was to get this exact spot, a rematch against the team that took them down before. So they are, especially those seniors, they are wanting to get the job finished today so they can go on to tomorrow. Obviously
the goal to get here, you don't care who you play, but I would imagine a little bit of some of those players that were on this Bettendorf team last year that were here in Ames probably wanted to see Waukee Northwest again.
I still want to see Urbandale, and I'm 20 years. That was 20 years ago. No, they do. They certainly do, right? You have to put in a lot of grit and work, especially as a student athlete throughout the season in high school. But this is what they've been waiting for, and that's why there's so much excitement and joy and, as you say, vocalness to our left.
Well, Stiles Pena was able to get the best of what looked to be a slippery move by the senior Simonini. Two of the star players going toe-to-toe. Not something you always get to see in a soccer match because so often all the scoring comes from players up front, but we're going to get to see Simonini and Stiles Pena go toe-to-toe a lot here this afternoon. Good ball to the middle there by Emily Martin. Sniffed out, though, defensively by Caden Spallwin, the junior, who started 15 games, make it 16 for Waukee Northwest here today.
I'm sure we'll talk a ton throughout the game about the similarities and differences of this current soccer versus when I played 15, 20 years ago in Muscatine. But one that's so interesting to me is in the Final Four, you have Bettendorf, who barely, I don't even know if they made the state tournament ever when I was playing, and then two schools that didn't even exist. So it's neat to see out of the four, there's only one school that is back from when I was playing.
Bettendorf with 16 appearances in their school history at the state girls soccer tournament, this being the third in 3 years for new head coach Allison Sonyi, her 4th season at the helm of the Bulldogs.
Great work by Waukee's goalkeeper there, coming out of the box, showing Bettendorf that she owns all this space and more, just kind of asserting herself on the field early.
Great note by the IGHSAU staff, too. The first girls' state championship, 1998.
Oh, wow.
Bettendorf Bulldogs. They were the winners, and on that team was Allison Sonyi. So pretty special for Sonyi to come back and be a part of the program that obviously means so much to her.
You can't get a better coach than that. Someone on the first team and won the state championship.
Ball into the box here inside of Waukee Northwest's box. Handled well by the goalkeeper.
It is just crickets to the right of us with this Waukee Northwest bench. You got 6 coaches, 6 players just sitting there barely saying anything, and you got Bettendorf screaming enough for the 2 of them.
We'll see if it's loud and proud or the silent assassins that win the day today. 2 very different feels to the left and to the right of us here in Ames. Great observation.
This Romy Croy gal, she is built, she is big. She just took Destiny Borland off the ball pretty easily. These gals are strong soccer players, so it'll be fun to watch the center midfield position today.
Yeah, Destiny Borland has already demonstrated her strength with the ball on her foot a little bit early in this match, too.
And of course, as we said before, has a knee brace because you just can't get away from it when you're watching a soccer match.
Unfortunately, something that hits too close to home for you.
Yeah, had 5 knee surgeries between me and my teammates. I think the 3 of us, we had 16 knee surgeries. So take care of your knees, ladies. But I think that they're doing a much better job as years progress with women's sports and taking care from a physical therapy perspective.
Haven't thrown any marriage stories into the broadcasts yet this week, but I'll throw one in where you had knee surgery right after our marriage and in sickness and in health right away, was pushing you around in a wheelchair for a little bit.
It was a good start to our marriage.
It was a good start. Battling through some adversity. Scoreless game here in the 3A semifinals. More physical soccer here. It's been on display for the entirety of this young game. Now a chance for Stiles Pena. She got taken down.
And that was a deserved call. She was on her way to score a goal, and the gal slide tackled her, got a yellow card, which means she does need to exit the field. The rules have changed since I played. She gets to come right back on if the coach so chooses. She doesn't have to sit out for the half. But this will be, it will not be a penalty kick. It's right outside of the 18.
Well, Allison Sonyi trying to appeal. That should have been a red card.
Ooh, I disagree with her on that one. Let him play. It was a slide tackle.
But maybe a tackle that Reese Retker had to make, because Stiles Pena, who, by the way, has 18 goals, that would have been a great opportunity for number 13. And Sonyi still upset that was not a red card. What we will get is a set piece here from a high danger area. To take it is Haley Engels. She'll sling it. That one's high of the net.
And that's what I was nervous about. Even as she was approaching that ball, she started putting her chest up. When you put your chest up, the ball goes over. When you keep your chest down, the ball goes down. That's a hard shot because you have a wall in front of you, which is normally okay because you have more space. She was right outside the 18. I was wondering what she was going to do there. She needed to slide it to the left of the wall and use her teammates crashing the net.
Olivia Snow is going to get signaled for a foul here, hustling back, trying to strip that one away from the boots of Lainey Sundit.
Thus far, I've agreed with all the refs' calls. They've really let them play so far. It's a physical game, and the few times that he's called it, it's a deserved call.
Well, Reese Jower hopped in here for the moment during that yellow card sub out that had to be had for Reese Retker. She's getting set to step back in. All substitutions here this week on the IGHSU Digital Network powered by Mid-American are brought to you by IMT Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com.
Oh, I just feel like some nostalgia. The captain is number 2, and she got yellow cards. That was me. I was number 2. I was a captain, and I got yellow cards.
I'm sure they were all very well-deserved yellow cards, too.
Yeah, I would disagree.
Thought I was going to get the no comment on that one. Bettendorf has not played much in their own half here in this first half, yet they are now, and Simonini, who's up from the back. Trying to thrust that one through was Crowett. Now looking from outside of the 18 was Kinsey Shea. She thought that was a handball. She was appealing heavily to the official that should have been whistled down. Instead, we play on. A popped clearance off the boot of Taylor Engels. Knocked down and then pushed to the right by Cora Sundit. And this will come back the other way in favor of Bettendorf.
I'd say Waukee Northwest, when they've had the ball, is doing a good job of possessing it. But Bettendorf really just has taken control of this game early. It'll be interesting to see how Waukee reacts.
They certainly seem calm behind their head coach, Tony Gabriel, who is a recipient of the IGHSAU Golden Plaque of Distinction earlier this season. Earned his 200th career win earlier this year, combined between Waukee Northwest and then Waukee when they were just Waukee.
And I recognize one of the other coaches. He was around when I played, Matty Smith. He was the head coach at Johnston back in the day. So now I decided to switch to Waukee.
Back in the day. That just makes you feel old when you say that, doesn't it?
Well, when you think half our lives ago, we were in high school.
Well, and you were catching up with your coach, Rob Chapman at Valley, talking about one of his children that's now 21 years of age, and you went, what?
He was 4 when I knew him.
Now this Waukee Northwest team looking to set up shop. Cutting move on the far side, and a crafty one at that, trying to stoke it in. Will this be a corner? Looks like it will be a corner after some nifty moves by Alexa Guthrie.
Sorry, partner. Waukee just is moving the ball very well across the whole width of the field as they progress forward. That's good soccer, right? Using the whole field instead of just staying bunched up in the middle. We saw a lot of the bunched up in the middle in our last game, and they started scoring more when they used their outsides.
Pardon, that was Grace Hummel on those incisive moves along the far side of the 18 box. So it's a Channel Seeds corner. Second of the contest here for Waukee Northwest. Simonini will craft it in, and that's off of the defense of Emily Martin. And actually, I got that wrong, as they say that goes off Waukee Northwest for a goal kick.
They needed more oomph there, right? The goal with the corner kick is to get it really high in the middle of the 6, or at least the middle of the 18, not that front post, because that's what happens. Everyone's crashing the net and just goes to the right of the post. So I think that they'll kind of think through those corner kicks, hopefully, and get them a little bit higher in there and a little further.
I jumped the gun on Alexa Guthrie, who's officially into the game now, number 4 for Waukee Northwest. Also slotting in Olivia Anderson for Bettendorf, IMT Insurance Substitutions. This one's pummeled away by Emily Martin of Bettendorf and picked up by Stiles Pena, who's had a lot of the ball. Her and Simonini seem to have their own little individual battle going on within the war here this afternoon.
Stiles Pena has really impressed me so far. She's very fast, and she is willing to play some defense and get back. I'm excited to watch her game throughout the afternoon.
This one's back to the goalkeeper, Riley Sweetland, the senior. Snow tracks it down.
That reminded me of the game that we watched yesterday with South Korea and Czechia. South Korea was using their goalie, but they were playing their goalie some hopping, skipping balls, and that's just what happened right there. But the goalie did a great job, handled it, and one touch got it forward.
Taylor goes wide, fill her gap with your run.
I hear the Waukee Northwest coach talking to his outside mid, telling her to pull back out. I agree with him. Again, you need to create the space so you can do exactly this, right? Using the flank to go to your forward. She listened, and then, look, now they might get a corner kick there.
Able to steer that out of bounds without providing a corner was Emily Martin. A little over 15 minutes into the 3A semifinals here in Ames. No score on either field right now. Ankeny, Centennial, and Valley scoreless as well behind us. Same here, Bettendorf and Waukee Northwest. Simonini A scalding ball in towards the far side. It pops loose in front. Another chance. Waukee Northwest trying to get to it. Crowett was looking for it, and a clearance that came at the right time. Stiles Pena has room. A long ball down the right side, a little too long as it winds up out of bounds. As Bettendorf has shown a propensity to try to counterattack with speed. Stiles Pena, who could definitely, looks like she could win a header or two, but she's got a nice gallop to her run as well.
Yeah, she's quick. Like I said, she's able to get back so quickly. And all the center mid had to need to do there was get it more towards the center of the ball because she was off to the races. She only had one defender on her side, and she could have gotten past her and then been one-on-one with the keeper. So I bet she was frustrated with that one. But there'll be more opportunities based on what we've seen thus far.
Angles worked over nicely by Reese Jower, the junior. Crowett to her right. Galloping ahead, one of the captains, Reese Retker. She'll float it. Looking for the streaking feet of Natalie Elliott. Defended nicely on the backside by junior Avery Williams. And this ball is going to go back into the hands of Bettendorf here for a free kick out of their own half.
You know, Ben, you said earlier that Waukee Northwest is the team to beat, and we are only 10 minutes into this match. But if we were to start making bets, I'm guessing a lot of people would choose Bettendorf based off what we've seen in the last 10 minutes, which would be an upset. And we have seen multiple upsets today already, which is why Valley is starting so late, because there have been PKs and teams that have been in the final aren't making the final for all of Class 2A. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next.
We've already seen the defending champs of 2A go down. Dallas Center Grimes gave up a go-ahead goal in the final 30 seconds of their match, which was prior to this one, as the North Polk Comets are on to the 2A finals. And then the game Natalie and I were on before this game kicked off, North Scott came from behind. They were down 1-0 in the final 5 minutes. They ended up winners 2-1. So it's North Scott and North Polk, a brand new pair of teams into the 2A final here in Ames. We know that at least one of the two teams in the final here in the 3A tournament will be new, as Linmar went down in the quarters. Bettendorf trying to take down the defending champs, Waukee Northwest here. Now Stiles Pena with space. She'll sling it across. Didn't get what she wanted on that one, and a simple clearance comes off the boot of Kinsey Shea.
Yeah, Pena was angry with herself on that play. Minus that touch, every other play was clinic, right? You use the outside, you bring it inside, and then you split back to outside, creating space, and then try to get back into the 18. Great work by Bettendorf.
Boy, some heavy soccer there by Retker, who almost looked like a bit of a hockey game there, taking down Olivia Snow. That's more my sport, not yours.
And no calls, and I appreciate that. Let them play until it gets too rough. Then you can set the standard of what's allowed and what isn't.
Been a physical game so far. More body contact at the middle of the field. Simonini colliding with Addison Wolfel. And then Bettendorf responds with Avery Williams stepping up. Anderson back in possession. Williams turns it over. Back in possession now are the Wolves. A long try, and that's wide. Looking to that far post was sophomore Natalie Elliott. She had a goal and an assist on the quarterfinal win. As coming out now with a bit of words for her coaches there was Stiles Pena, I think, just looking to get a little more on the design of the setup maybe, or maybe what she was trying to do on that crossing play.
Yeah, to me it just screamed like what a tennis player does, get mad at yourself, you know, and talking out loud. And that's what she was doing. She was telling the coach how mad she was at herself for that play. And sometimes we just got to get it out and then we move on. She needs to move on because she's been playing great with -1 bad touch.
Hummel, who's shown some speed on the far side, does it again. She's able to draw a Channel Seeds quarter kick out of that. Well, Hummel, who has 9 assists on the year, that leads this Waukee Northwest team. And someone certainly to keep an eye on, as Hummel, just a freshman playing for this powerhouse Wolves team.
Also very impressive when you get to these big schools where a lot of these girls are playing club and potentially some ODP. The fact that you're playing on a varsity level team that's winning state championships as a freshman, I mean, what a bright future she has.
Many freshmen play on your Valley teams that you played on?
No. Except for Whitney Sharp, who we've talked about ad nauseum on other things, because she was an unbelievable player and deserved to start as a freshman.
Now Crowett, using that length of hers, she's tall, got ahead on that, but it sailed over the bar after the set piece fails for Waukee Northwest. Setting things back up is Emily Martin. That's not where she wanted that to go, but a friendly bounce off of the knee of Kinley Shea. Gets it back to Martin. That one finds a target ahead. Swooping it forward is Woelfel. On the money for Olivia Snow. 18 goals on the year. Cuts back to her right foot. Tries to swing it ahead. Does it have the right touch? Trying to find Sadie Harnung. That one didn't connect. Harnung just came in on an IMT substitution, and she almost had a streak at a break there.
Olivia Snow's impressed me on a couple fronts already. One, she's a very skilled player, which is nice to see. So often, you're seeing kicks everywhere. She's very skilled, and she's very aware. She's like a quarterback on a football team. She's aware of her space and her time without even players talking to her. And so she's able to keep her composure, make turns on players, and then see the field.
Alexa Guthrie along the left flank. Martin's able to deny entry towards the middle of the field. That one winds up out of play. Working in a tight corner down there. Crowett powering her way to the middle. She stays with it after a Bettendorf player goes down and fires one off the crossbar. There's a rebound right in front. Bedlam, as the goalkeeper tries to get there, and Sweetland, terrific defending, but that was almost a gorgeous goal for Romy Crowett off the crossbar.
Wow, she is the player so far to watch. She is strong and physical, and she's a head taller than most of the team here, and she has got a powerful kick. That was a great shot. Great work by the goalie. I think she tipped it a little bit there against the crossbar. So good work by all involved, and she can feel it. If I were Bettendorf, I would have one, if not two girls on her at all times, no matter what, because she can make things happen. And a captain to boot as a junior.
Waukee Northwest starting to find their footing here. Moves from Guthrie. She'll center. Oh, just out of the reach of Cora Sundit. An offside is called against Waukee Northwest, but Natalie, we've talked a lot about the play of Bettendorf in the opening portion of this game, but now as we cross into the 15-minute mark here in the final 15 and change of this first half, all of a sudden we're starting to see why the Wolves have been the best team in the state for almost 2 years.
Yeah, they are very consistent. They don't seem frantic. They're very calm with what's going on with Bettendorf. But Bettendorf was getting a little, I don't want to say lazy, but just they pumped the brakes a little bit in their play, and you can't do that with the best team in the state. So they need to stay. They need to have the motivation. I'm not hearing nearly as much from the bench. They need to get that energy back.
Another display of ability by Hummel on the far side is again she flashed her way past some Bettendorf defenders. The play ended up fizzling out. One thing we should note too, as the game has tilted a bit towards Waukee Northwest, Kaylin Stiles-Pena taking a rest. Some skill there from Simonini, who's impressed early. More skill from Simonini, one of 3 Loras College commits on this Wolves team. Can bet those 3 will be friends for a long time, playing their high school soccer together. They'll play 4 more years together at Loras.
They better not start a clique, though. They'll want to start meeting all their new teammates at Loras.
Simonini is one, Cora Sundit the other, and then Kinsey Shea. All will be playing their college soccer at Loras. Now Riley Sweetland, the South Carolina Aiken commit, back in goal wearing very vibrant bright yellow. This one skied away to center. Tracking this one down is the freshman Kinley Shea. She'll use her goalkeeper just on the line. Smartly backs off and almost signaling to the ref, hey, I didn't step over.
Again, the pressure by Bettendorf. That's why they have this ball right now. They continue to pressure.
Now Harnung trying to get it in. That one's off the defender, Kinley Shea, and back in will come Kaylin Stiles Pena, looking to spark the offense of Bettendorf here in a still scoreless first half on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Natalie Gislason along my side. I'm Ben Gislason. Wonderful to have you with us on really a pristine day in central Iowa. Nice light breeze, which I know, Natalie, we were talking earlier in the day in our previous broadcast of the 2A semis. That can affect the game a little bit. We're not complaining about it here in the booth, though.
It's great in the booth. As a player, I'd be quite frustrated. I never liked playing with wind because I was a header, and so it messed with where I had to find the ball in the air. And a lot of players don't like it because, it just affects your game. It changes your game. And it's so nice right now. It's 75 degrees. That's just a great temperature. But on Tuesday, Monday, when it was those 90-degree days, the wind would have been a benefit.
I'd imagine you train so much, you know what the trajectory of a ball looks like in the air on a still day. The wind, maybe the ball carries a little more than you'd expect it to carry.
Exactly. And it just depends on the player and how good they are with getting the ball where it needs to be in the air. So it's more about the individual kicking versus the individual heading. Gosh, I've been so impressed by this Sadie Harnug. She's a freshman. She is very fast. She's all over the place, and she's not wearing a ponytail. I've never seen a soccer player like that. Is just impressive. This gal's got a bright future as well.
Harnug has been a part of 18 games this year. So she's had plenty of experience coming in as a sub player for Allison Sagne and the Bulldogs. Champions of Region 5 and the MAC Conference champions trying to unseat the defending champs. As a long try from Crowett, who's never afraid to take a gander at goal. That was from the left foot. We saw her right a few minutes ago, but both sailed over the crossbar.
And way far out. I made an audible noise there. She has so much power in those legs to get it that far out and to get it that high up. Again, they need to have two gals on her every time she's got that ball.
Oh, the strength we've seen her demonstrate, two might not be enough. We saw her pull Caitlin Kingma down as she was marshaling her way towards the scoring area on the previous chance we alluded to. Incredible strength for Crowett.
Great ball movement there.
And a strong
Elliott.
Defensive play from Taylor Engels to boot. Here's Retker back to get this a 4-year starter for Gabriel and the Wolves. Captaining the four at the back for this Waukee Northwest team. Into the final 10 minutes we go of the first half. Waukee Northwest trying to find the early strike. Good moves ahead as Lainey Sundit sees that play fizzle out. Then Williams gets run into, but staying with it, the elusive Hummel, who centers one, but coming back to clear it away was Kingma. Hummel has been a lot to handle on the right wing in this first half for Bettendorf.
And that was a great pass, but unfortunately it was to no one. Waukee couldn't connect there, but it was exactly where you needed to get the ball, right at the top of the 18. So we take a second here as Bettendorf gets up, the player down.
Hummel, a goal and an assist in the 7-0 win over Dubuque Hempstead in the corners. 6 different goal scorers that afternoon. So a very comprehensive win for a team that has gotten contributions from all over their lineup all season long. You look at this team on paper, and it's not hard to figure out that depth is their strength. Snow with the ball ahead. Stiles Pena racing after it. To her left, tried to feed it back into Snow. It was behind, but it bounces back to Stiles Pena. Trying to dance through just a maze of blue in front of goal and never got the shot towards the net. Ends up wide, and that'll bring in a substitution. Stepping in is Peyton Gibson, the senior for Waukee Northwest. IMT Insurance substitution underway. Coming out will be Romy Crowett, who takes a much-deserved and well-earned rest.
Yeah, her game just continues to impress me. I saw her there about 5 minutes ago, slide tackle. So she's strong, she's physical, she's fast, and she's got a great shot. I have an idea that she will be doing some great things in the second half.
Certainly would be on your short list of players to make an impact in this game. She's had some nice moments. We've seen the play of Kaylin Stiles Pena as well.
Olivia Anderson here on Bettendorf is my apologies, Emily Martin is our defender here, and she's just a sophomore, and she's been playing the whole game and has been playing a great game, defending well on this right plank.
Has started all 20 games for Bettendorf this year.
And she's having to do, like I always say, the thing that we all just hate as soccer players. She just is working her way down the field on the side by doing throw-ins. It's much more fun to actually be able to play versus doing throw-ins, but it gets the job done if it gets further down the field.
That one will trickle its way out for a goal kick. 8 minutes to play here in a scoreless first half. No score on the other field between Valley and Ankeny Centennial as well. The last of the semifinals, the 3A tournament. All three will come to a close tomorrow. We know who's going to be here in the 1A side, the 2A side, trying to decide who of the big schools will get the chance at a 3A title. Waukee Northwest trying to defend their championship performance a year ago. They defeated Linmar 3-2 in the finals. Bettendorf looking for revenge after they were ousted by Waukee Northwest last year at this very same tournament in the quarters. Williams, a ball ahead, looking for Harnung. Instead, a counterattack is on. Hummel's in the middle of it again. The freshman racing down the right side, trying to turn around a defender. It bounces in towards Natalie Elliott. Hummel had it a moment, cleared away nicely. Good defense by Taylor Engels.
Unbelievable speed on that right side for Waukee. They're able to move that ball so quickly. And Grace Hummel, she's just faster than everyone else. She's everywhere. She's constantly getting that ball if she loses it.
Stiles Pena pass in behind its intended target of Haley Engels.
Haley Engels was making the right move there. She was cutting through the middle to go line, and the line was open for Penn. I just don't think she saw it in her peripheral.
A whole host of substitutions preparing to come in here for Allison Sanyi. And
we've said time after time, this is going to be a physical game, and I think the refs have been doing a good job of calling the calls that actually should be calls.
Sophomore Elliott, she's got space. Williams stretching over to defend. Elliott keeps powering down that right-hand side. Another sturdy defensive play from Williams, and her teammates on the bench giving her some love for that. However, a foul will make this a free kick coming from the far side of the field for Waukee Northwest. Just under 5 to go in the first half here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. And the scoreboard reads zeros to this point. Waukee Northwest taking their time as the senior Simonini, who's the creator on these set pieces, sends one in high towards the back side. That one skips past not only Bettendorf, but the Wolves as well. And that's going to be a Bulldog ball, and now a trio of substitutions will come in. Crowett will come back in for Waukee Northwest. For Bettendorf, Brielle Wilson checks in. Destiny Borland comes back in, as well as Nia Drish will come in for the 5th-seeded Bulldogs here in the 3A tournament.
Although they didn't get anything on that, that was a great ball. That's what you want. You want a ball really high in the air so that people can crash the net to score, hopefully with the head. They just couldn't get a head on it. Oh.
Little jersey tug there from Addison Wolfel. It's about the most animated we've heard the Northwest bench to this point.
And it was warranted. It's unnecessary. I mean, she hit her, which is fine. I mean, you can be physical, but don't grab shirts.
So what's Simonini looking to do here?
Because she's so far out, she wants to get it in the air on the far right. That's why you see all those girls on the far right, to bend it like that, and then you want to get a head on it like that. They wrote the play for me.
Maybe done that a time or two yourself, although you were the one waiting for it on the other side.
Exactly. But when you're on the left side, you're obviously trying to bend to the right and then vice versa. And that's where the wind can come into play. And it did you notice how it was flat without the wind, and then the wind came right after?
Hummel outside for Cadence Baldwin. Bettendorf back in possession momentarily. A contested ball. Trying to work it free is Haley Engels, the junior. She does wonderfully. However, the pass just a bit too far for Nia Drish to track it down. Drish, who scored one of the 4 unanswered goals on way to a quarterfinal win for Bettendorf after they were down 2-0 to Waukee. Drish, Snow, Wolfel, and Haley Engels. 3 of those 4 goals coming in the second half. What a contest that was. Now room for Cora Sundit, showing some strength here. Looking in for Elliott, who fires and scores! Waukee Northwest. It was a long wait, but they've got the go-ahead goal on a perfectly placed shot by Elliott.
Great goal. Took her time, had multiple girls around her, was composed, switched from the left foot to the right foot to cut, and then shot far left. Pulling a replay here.
Sundit pulled 2 defenders to her on that near side, and that opened up the space for Elliott. So Sundit with her first assist of the tournament, her 4th overall on the season. That's Elliott with her 2nd goal of the tournament. She also had an assist in the win in the quarterfinals. So it's been a great tournament for the sophomore, who started in all 15 games, make it 16 with a start today for Elliott. And Waukee Northwest, a very poised go-ahead goal from their number 11.
About a minute before that goal, I was going to say something. I bit my tongue to wait till half, but I can certainly say it now. Those first 10 minutes, I said, if I'm making a bet, I'm betting on Bettendorf. No pun intended. But then the last 30 minutes, or 25, 30 minutes, Waukee has taken over. Bettendorf has really held their ground, don't get me wrong, but Waukee has controlled this game, and just like that, that's a deserved goal for a 1-0 game walking into the half.
Final 45 seconds until both coaches will get a chance to rouse the troops here and develop a game plan for the second half. For Bettendorf, so close to it being a tied first half, but great moves between Sundit and Elliott, the difference-making goal. Natalie Elliott's 7th of the season. Final seconds here of the first half clicking away. Baldwin almost turned it over to Harnung. Trying to track it down was Brielle Wilson. And the defending champion, Waukee Northwest Wolves, looking poised to defend their title. A late strike from Natalie Elliott means this incredible undefeated streak of Waukee Northwest remains intact heading into the second half. Natalie, thoughts on both sides as we close out the opening 40 minutes?
So Bettendorf needs to get the energy back that they had in those first 10 minutes and before the game. They were joyful, they were loud, they were excited, they were controlling the game, they were strong on the field, they were quick to balls. They just need to recoup that and go back to playing the game that they were playing because they showed that they can play it. Waukee Northwest needs to continue to do what they're doing, but they could do even better. They started to get more cohesive, and they were getting the frustration had kind of simmered, and they were starting to become a team and pass more, but they just have so much potential to do more, and you could see that. And so if I were the coach, I would say, hey, let's get back to the game that we play, because I just don't even think that we've seen it yet.
One shot between Waukee Northwest and Bettendorf as we head to a break in the action here in between halves. When we come back, the second half begins in this 3A semifinal here in Ames. The championship is awaiting the winner tomorrow. This is the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Don't move. The second half is next.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Hey, Frank. Oh, it looks like you spilled some grease.
Wheels are multiplying and you need flavor that's bold.
There's nothing left for you to do
But to go to Fairway, your dream for Midwest meat. It's the one you need. Yeah!
Fairway, it's the one you need.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/WeCare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
Life's buzzing with energy, from the delightfully routine, to the novel and exciting, to the truly uncharted. With all that life brings, it's easy to lose track of what powers all those moments, our health. At Mercy One, our caring doctors focus on just that, powering health, from the everyday to the extraordinary. So you're ready for what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
I'm Erin Gerlich, Executive Director of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. And joining me once again is Brent Johnson, President of the Iowa Farm Bureau, our proud title sponsor. Brent, your support for youth and education goes beyond the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. What other support does Farm Bureau provide Iowa's youth?
You're right, Erin. Our Girls Union partnership matters. But Farm Bureau supports Iowa's youth in many other ways. They're one of our state's most valuable resources, so we're proud to support them year-round through Iowa Farm Bureau's scholarship program, which provides over $250,000 in scholarships annually to Iowa students around the state. And as you know, we've teamed up with your organization and the Iowa High School Athletic Association to offer free concussion insurance for all boys and girls participating in sanctioned sports. This collaboration ensures Iowa's athletes can practice and compete with an added layer of protection at no cost to them or their families. We've also provided teachers over the last 10 years with over $450,000 in funding to help them purchase classroom supplies through our Teacher Supplement Program. And we continue to sponsor other groups such as 4-H and FFA that teach Iowa's youth about the many ways that agriculture touches their lives.
Thank you, Brent. We're certainly grateful for Farm Bureau's continued investment in Iowa's youth and our organization. Now let's get back to tournament coverage.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Whether you volunteer or hang with friends, play pickleball, read or follow trends. No matter what your retirement style, you deserve healthy eyes and a healthy smile. Some Medicare plans don't cover vision or dental. With Delta Dental, you can save on what's essential. Get coverage and take care of your health. It's peace of mind, so treat yourself. It's more affordable than you might think. Give us a call or visit this link.
Excuse me, man. You dropped this.
Oh.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Set to gent for the second half here in Ames. It's the 3A semifinal. Waukee Northwest looking to continue this remarkable unbeaten streak that carries all the way back to 2024 when the tournament was in Muscatine. Here in Ames, they lead Bettendorf 1-0. Ben Gislason, Natalie Gislason welcoming you back here to the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by MidAmerican Energy. The Girls State Soccer Tournament brought to you by Farm Bureau. And Natalie, both of these teams are obviously looking to punch their ticket into tomorrow on both sides. How does either team get this done?
With Bettendorf, they need to shut down Crowett. She is their goal scorer, their enforcer, etc. And they need to go back to how they were playing those first 10 minutes. Get the pep back in their step. Remember, there's a reason that they're in this game and that they have a very good chance of winning this game. They just need to remember the energy that they had about 40 or 50 minutes ago. And then with Waukee Northwest, they were really strong there towards the end of the first half. But like I said, I just think that there's so much more potential for them to play an even stronger, faster, harder game. And so I would be if I were the coach, I would have challenged them saying, I know you've got more than this.
A late goal by Natalie Elliott. The difference in this one as we sit here at the open of this second half. On the other field, the score has changed as well. Valley just took a 1-0 lead over Ankeny Centennial as Retker parries one away forward for Laney Sundin.
Of no surprise, Bettendorf has come back very, very fast. They are the faster team right now, and Waukee isn't able to put a lot of passes together. So we'll see if this is indicative for the rest of the half.
Grace Thomason has not been tested all too often. She set a school record with 12 clean sheets this year. And she's kept it clean for the whole tournament to this point as well. Of course, Natalie, we saw that in the 2A semifinal earlier today. Norwalk had not been scored on almost in 2 complete games until the bottom of that one fell out from under them, and they lost 2-1 in the final 5 minutes of that semifinal. Waukee Northwest will look to see this one through all the way. It doesn't matter how many great minutes you play if you don't play all of them as well as you can and keep a team off the board. A game can fall away from you in a matter of minutes. It happens.
Like I said in the first half, during 2A, we watched the number 1 team and the number 2 team fall and not make the finals. And right now we're watching the number 1 team on our side up by 1, and behind us the number 2 team up by 1. Could there be more, could there be a repeat of the 2A class? We'll see.
No losses this season for Waukee Northwest. 3 draws. Gretna East, Waukee, and Ankeny all were draws, but that was the closest this team came to losing all season long. Nice moves on the far side by Haley Engels. She had a good first half trying to create here. Great move. Stiles Pena in for Snow. It's just over the crossbar.
And look at that reaction right after that. She starts clapping, gets her team back in it. That's exactly what you should do. That was such a great opportunity. Yep, she was a little left and a little high of the net. But look, they're prepping and uplifting each other on the Bettendorf team. And they need to continue with that energy because that's when they do well.
How much did we talk about the volume from the Bettendorf bench in the first 10, 15 minutes of that first half? And as the Wolves were able to tilt the game in their favor, it got awfully quiet to our left. The bench is active again after that scoring chance by their great scorer, Olivia Snow.
Exactly. That is what you don't want Bettendorf to do. You don't want them to get down because they play their best game when they've got the energy.
It's been a tall task on the left-hand side defensively for Taylor Engels, dealing with Hummel, who's got it back. She lasers one, but a nice read. Not sure that one would have counted anyway.
Yep, the whistle was called beforehand. So we got a goal kick, but it was a great shot, far left. And a good read by the goalie, and it's good for the goalie to be getting those touches in so that she's not thrown off in the future.
Sundit and Elliott combined for the go-ahead goal, but it really has been the freshman Grace Hummel that has impressed most. She's had some razzle-dazzle on the right-hand side. As a cross comes in from her teammate Natalie Elliott, that one's out of play off of Bettendorf, and this will be a 4th corner kick coming up here now for Waukee Northwest. Bettendorf has not earned a single corner yet in this game.
I didn't realize that. Wow, really heavy cross there. And he couldn't have gotten a better result other than a goal because that was going to go way past the goal. The fact that it went off the chest of Bettendorf, that's a nice little luck, I would say, for Waukee Northwest.
Simonini with the cross. Not her best as Stiles Pena in the way. Back with it in possession is the junior Baldwin. Pressed ahead by Cora Sundit. And now a long lead feed that's interjected at midfield by Kinley Shea.
Again, I continue to be impressed by the energy of the bench of Bettendorf. I looked around and I realized it was gnat noise from our mics, picking everything up over there.
I can't say enough about the production value of this crew here, led by our director, Randy Nielsen, and the rest of his crew. You think about a broadcast like this, Natalie, when you were playing in this tournament in the mid-2000s, it just flat out didn't exist.
No, it didn't. I know our game was televised because my orchestra conductor was watching it. But like I said, the people in the stands were your parents and your boyfriends, and maybe your grandparents were watching on screen. So this, again, this just continues to impress me, the strength and the growth of the girls program here in the state of Iowa.
Speaking of impressing, here goes Hummel again. That one's right into the clutches of the goalkeeper, Sweetland. But boy, the freeway has been open on the right-hand side for the freshman Hummel. When she gets the ball there, it's almost every time she gets to that corner and swings one in.
I can't get over that she's a freshman. I mean, she has so much power and speed at the age of, 14, 15? And she is reading the game really well. So, again, we've said it multiple times, bright future for both teams.
A couple of subs getting ready to step in here for Waukee Northwest. Alexa Guthrie and Reese Jower, both who saw good minutes in the first half of this 1-0 game. Wolves looking to, for the second straight season, make their way to a 3A title game. Or they beat Linn-Mar last season for the first title in their young but prolific school's history. Now Stiles Pena turning to her left, back to her right. Simonini can't slow her down. Pena's passes in, and it's angled away nicely by Retker. It was Olivia Snow who was waiting just shy of the 6-yard box, looking to unload. It will be a corner kick coming here for Bettendorf, their first of the contest.
Great skill work for Pena trying to find her forward, but great defending by Waukee Northwest. That's the best you could do.
Channel Seeds corner on the way. It goes short, looking for Martin. Simonini, who's been a very quiet but steady presence back there for Waukee Northwest.
Again, those corner kicks, you got to get those up in the air. This is what happens when you get them on the ground. You don't get any leverage. You don't get any opportunities for shooting. So if they keep getting the balls in the air, then they'll have more opportunities to score.
All corner kicks brought to you by Channel. The enhanced Channel seed brand is here to help farmers like you up your game and rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com. 32 minutes to go. Waukee Northwest in the driver's seat with the Natalie Elliott strike in the first half. Williams muscled off the ball. Hummel again powering her way in. She goes down. The Wolves bench up in arms, thinking they should have received a penalty from that. Partner, what'd you see there?
I honestly didn't see a penalty. I saw two girls running into each other. And at first I thought she was hurt because she grabbed her leg, but she's all good. It was right back up. So I think it was just a collision.
Foul at midfield, yep. Well, let's call a spade, too. Coaches and benches in soccer, when their player has the ball and goes down in the box, they stand up every single time, no matter what. You can try to maybe influence a call a little bit there, right?
And players so often, I mean, I did this too, we all did it. We knew it was not our ball, and we would still throw our hand up to say it was our ball. You're just trying to persuade the ref.
There's a good ball in. Hummel, though, couldn't track it down. Well, there was the green to work with for the phenomenal freshman. Instead, Sweetland will take this and stoke it out to midfield, pounded back in by Crowett, playing their own little personal game of pitch and catch there as it's right back into the hands of Sweetland. And she'll try this again, and she puts a lot more sting on this one.
If I don't think Engels was ready for that, kind of moved her head there. But
caught it off the shoulder.
Yeah, but still got it forward in her direction.
Martin duking it out on the far side with Cora Sundit. We saw her strength on display when she set up the Elliott goal in the first half. Very rugged attacking forward.
those two are going after each other, and I think they will for the rest of the match. You can tell both of them wanted that ball, and they're kind of going after each other specifically. So I'd be watching that flank.
Angles had a brilliant quarterfinal with a goal and 2 assists. And Waukee Northwest collecting a set piece here. Simonini will sling it in. A nice strike, looking for a head, but she finds only the clutches of Sweetland. Now Haley Ingles will look to power ahead a counterattack. Good read, though, at midfield as Kinsey Shea got a piece of that pass forward, slowing down the assault of Bettendorf. Still a 1-0 game here in Ames. Bettendorf trying to find level footing here against this juggernaut Northwest Wolves team.
Ben, I think I heard you say in that 7-0 game with Waukee Northwest, this was scored by 7 different players. That's what I'm talking about, the potential of Waukee Northwest. You've seen it here in the second half. They really have controlled the game, right? We've been staring to the right of us most of this half, not the left. And they're close, but the fact that they have 7 different people that can score goals shows that they've got a lot of potential that they can play and put into this game.
A microcosm of their season, they've been able to look all over their starting 11 for contributions.
Maybe that's why they only need 6 subs.
Cadence Baldwin trying to streak in, lost the ball, collected again by Kinsey Shea. That one's picked and cleared by Caitlin Kingma. Yeah, those 7 different goal scorers against Dubuque Hempstead. Elliott, Cora Sundit, Laney Sundit, Simonini, Hummel, Olson, all on the board, as was Henley Waller. Haven't seen her yet today as the freshman. Came in later in the game after it was in hand for the Wolves. We will see substitutions coming in now. Alexa Guthrie, as well as Reese Jower, will check in. Hummel is going to get a much-deserved breather. Cadence Baldwin also stepping out for some shade.
Hummel looked a little tired because she's been running the span of 2 players in the last 10 minutes.
And look at Crowett. Immense strength as she leans into Wolfel there. And Crowett looked like she actually went down a little easy on that one, although she is extremely frustrated with the lack of a call.
It's funny, you hear Bettendorf saying she should be called, she's pushing, and then you're seeing Crowett say she should be called, she's pushing. I think that they both are pushing. They're both strong women, and they're hitting each other, and that's just what happens.
Haley Angles knocked ahead by Wolfel. Way out to play it, the goalkeeper Thomason. Has not been tested yet today. There have been a few shots that have sailed over the crossbar. Beautiful move inside by Sundin. She'll feed it to the middle. That one's intervened by Caitlin Kingma and clears it away from harm.
And that's just a bad, we call that in hockey a bad stick, or in soccer a bad foot. Like, you, as a defender, you need to continue to work backwards while the player is approaching you. You don't want to step in, because then that's what happens. They just cut around you.
Great to have you with us here today from Ames, the 3A semifinals. Here in the second half, Waukee Northwest, a 1-0 lead on Bettendorf on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Olivia Snow looking ahead for her fellow scoring forward in Kaylin Stiles Pena, both with 18 goals. Alexa Guthrie pressed over on the far side by Emily Martin, who, Nat, you've pointed out on a few occasions, has been involved defensively. Number 2 in white for Bettendorf.
Yeah, nothing gets past her. She's continued to do such a great job, and she's young. She's a sophomore. And she is defending her space well, and that's why you're not seeing a lot from Waukee Northwest on that far left side, because she's over there defending.
Just 3 seniors. Check that 4. I forgot to mention Sweetland, the goalie. 4 seniors on this Bettendorf team. Heavily junior and sophomore class. Here comes Stiles Pena on a long through ball, but there is Simonini who has just been brilliant in this game. You look at the numbers and you'd think maybe factoring in more offensively, but it's been a more under-the-surface presence that Simonini has played in this game. Some tremendous defensive plays, and she's a smart cookie back there, too. You can tell she reads the game extremely well.
Yeah, the back line has just been doing a great job. Admittedly, my focus was towards the Waukee bench. The Waukee Northwest coach is just erupting, rightfully so, because Bettendorf is pulling jerseys. Unnecessary. You don't need to pull jerseys. Just play the game. And they're trying to get the linesmen to see that. So we'll see if they continue doing the pulling of jerseys, but unnecessary.
That one's out for a goal kick here. Just under 25 minutes to go. And Bettendorf trying to find a spark as an IMT insurance substitution comes in. A quick pause and a quick breath for Cadence Baldwin as Izzy Simonini will step out for a moment and gather her thoughts and breath. We'll see if Bettendorf can't try and capitalize without Waukee Northwest's star defender in the game.
Again, if we watch this game the last 20 minutes or 15, 20 minutes of this half, so much of the ball has been on our side, close to the right side. I think it's because they're doing such a great job on the left side of defending for Bettendorf, and Waukee is trying to see the weaknesses, and I think they're seeing a weakness on this right side, which is why they keep going down this flank, which is exactly where the ball's at again. So we'll see if they keep using this side or going more towards the middle.
Well, it's been going there even with Hummel out of the game. It doesn't matter who's been on the right flank. They want it there.
Olivia Snow just using her strength and body. Great work getting past two defenders and splitting.
Long ball through the goalkeeper. Thomason comes out to play a terrific read by the veteran netminder, the senior, able to cut that away before the deadly Styles Pena could get to that through ball.
Thomason is a fascinating keeper to watch. She comes out a lot of her box, and she is using her feet just as much as she is using her hands, which is very rare for a keeper. But you can tell just her line is, they believe in her, right? Nothing's going to get past her, but just the amount of time coming out.
Olivia Snow looking for someone on the other end. That was much too far for the sophomore Drish. Drish still with it, trying to work her way back towards the middle of the attacking side here, and taking a gander at that was Wolfel. She'll get it back, finds Haley Engels. That's a high looper, and it's easily handled off of her left post. Grace Thomason under it like a pop fly to shallow center.
Great work by Addison Wolfel. She had the ball come to her, had a ton of pressure around her, and still settled it, and then was able to get that pass off. If only, I just wish Haley Engels would have just done the same thing, taken one more second, and then been able to get a stronger, more thoughtful shot off.
Sophomore Olivia Anderson getting set to step in here for Bettendorf. As an IMT insurance substitution, brings number 3 in white.
Oh, it's too bad. That was such a great throw-in. We were doing a sub-in.
As that throw-in was a false start off the hands of Taylor Engels. Here comes Anderson now. Learn how you can worry free with IMT at imtins.com.
It's funny, Bettendorf kind of took advantage of that. We've talked about that a little bit when it comes to throw-ins. When the ref isn't looking, or when you get a false throw and you take a few more steps forward so you can get a little bit further down the field, and that's exactly what Bettendorf did.
It's called gamesmanship.
It's called being sneaky.
Yeah, some might call it cheating.
Yeah.
I like to call it gamesmanship. It's all in the eye of the beholder, I suppose.
Exactly.
Now Olivia Snow. Drish, who scored in the quarterfinals against Waukee, looking for a tying goal here against Waukee Northwest. It's Haley Engels, goal and a 2-assist day in the quarters. Loops one in. Styles Pena was there. Who did it go off of? They're going to say corner for Bettendorf.
I agree with the ref's call. I think that went off of Waukee Northwest. That was a great ball by Engels. Even though it was low, it was front post, so she had people crashing to the net, which is why he ended up getting a corner kick.
Here comes the corner. It's high, lands
corner.
over by Snow, and then is powered away by the defense of Cora Sundit. And Waukee Northwest very stingy on that set piece.
Gosh, look at Natalie Elliott. Look at the composure she just had. It was 1 versus 4, and they had the ball.
Thomason waiting way out. She'll challenge the press of Drish.
Again,
handles it well.
Like you said, way out. She just comes way out of her box. Like just even right now, seeing her how far out she is.
Good defensive play from Taylor Engels, trying to spring Drish again, though. That one's too far for the attack of the sophomore, and it's picked up once more by Thomason, who's making her own life simple by the way she reads the game. She's been in possession every time, or position every time she's needed to be.
And you know, we haven't gotten to see her do a lot of kicks because she stays on the ground so much. She uses her feet so much on the ground. Wow, she can really move that ball forward. That's so nice for the team as they can push forward and already be into the offensive half just from her.
Emily Martin waiting back here for the upcoming throw-in. Now under 20 remains here in this 3A semifinal. Waukee Northwest looking to continue their string of success here in Ames with another state championship. They hold a 1-0 lead currently over Bettendorf, looking to play the role of a plucky upstart underdog. Freshman Taylor Engels. Olivia Snow takes her space. An incisive pass and a good one as it goes vertically. Retker defending well. Snow gets it back. Great tackle as it's pulled away by Alexa Guthrie.
You can just see the frustration from Olivia Snow. She feels like she's having to do a lot of work right now and just stops immediately and starts walking away.
Well, you can hear the Northwest coaches calling their players to come forward. They don't want this team to just sit back and relax quite yet. There's too much time left to quote-unquote park the bus, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, what have we been saying? We've seen multiple times with like we just saw it with Norwalk. They were up the entire game. There was 8 minutes left, and then all of a sudden 2 goals happened. And just like that, their dreams went away. So as good as Waukee is, they need to continue to play hard because they're only up 1 goal. And if the second the other team scores, their momentum is high and your momentum is low. So they need to stay on top of it.
Yeah, very similar games, too, where Norwalk scored late in the first half. And for the most part, there was one great chance 7-8 minutes into the half for North Scott. Otherwise, it was kind of a sleepy second half until it wasn't late in the game.
Yeah, and I don't even want to say, because I kind of do compare that game to this game. Like, this isn't sleepy, but there's been so much action in the middle third of the field. You aren't seeing a ton of this, right? We've not been hanging out in the 18 on either side all that much.
Waukee Northwest has done a superb job of really making this a simple-looking second half. They have controlled the ball well. They've kept the play in front of them. Three substitutions getting set to rejoin the game here for the defending champs as look at this venturous try. Oh, that was from a ways out from Crowett. Although with the boot she's got in her right foot, why not give it a shot? We've seen the strength all afternoon.
Again, I think that was just a frustration. She's just like, whatever. She's going to throw this up. She's tired. She's
she'll check out now.
Mm-hmm.
Simonini coming back in, as is Hummel, whose name we've mentioned a lot this afternoon. Peyton Gibson will also slide in here for some minutes. Crowett coming out. A couple of her teammates as well here to grab a rest and some shade. That might be the best part, aside from some water, is getting out of the sun here. Wind has died down a bit. It's starting to get a little more balmy here this afternoon.
I thought the same thing right when the second half started. I thought, oh, the wind is dying down, so all of a sudden it's going to feel 10 degrees hotter, and it does feel hotter. I feel bad for the rest wearing black.
I noticed because we could take all the paperweights we had down over our notes off. Great move. Stiles Pena with a gander. That one, though, wide of the net. Thomason knew it right off her foot, never really got ready for it, but that's the kind of space you're looking for with a scorer like Styles Pena, you give her a chance to take a couple steps like that, she'll take a crack.
Yep, right height, right speed, just wrong direction.
Stepping up is Martin. Trying to race through with this is Drish, but again, never shy to come racing off her line. Grace Thomason has been such a good presence back there, very calming presence for this Waukee Northwest team. And there may be no better compliment you can give a goaltender than they make their teammates calm.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, right? Anyone that can do that on the field, especially letting it be the last line of defense, is the best thing you can have. I just cannot recall ever seeing a goalie like this. I mean, even now, she is halfway up her half. And I understand the ball isn't anywhere near her, but it could be very quickly. And she just really feels comfortable in that space. You can see why she's going to go play at a high level right after. She feels comfortable in her role.
I mean, she's halfway to midfield right now. Granted, it's about to be a corner kick coming up here for Waukee Northwest. Some subs coming back in. A brief break there for Crowett. IMT Insurance substitutions on the way. Cora Sundit comes back in. Coming out, Lainey Sundit, her sister, as well as Natalie Elliott, who's got the most important goal of the day, the only one. Wolves have a 1-0 lead here. Time starting to become a factor. 13:40 remaining here in this second half. Bettendorf looking at the clock and starting to think about the timing. As Retker, who's been steady, puts one all the way down into the clutches of the goalkeeper, Riley Sweetland.
This is such a dumb observation, but I can't help myself. As they were subbing in and out, those two captains, I was looking at their captain bands, and they were different than ours because they have Velcro. When we had them, they didn't, so they felt like, blood pressure cuffs from the doctor's office. It's nice to see they continue to make improvements on the gear for girls soccer.
Depending on the size of your muscles, they might take away a little of the blood pressure or add a little blood pressure to your day.
Exactly.
Wouldn't call that a dumb observation. Call it a simple one.
An interesting observation. And I've said before, I can't believe these girls don't wear tape on their shin guards. They must have changed shin guards so they can actually stay up, but we always used to have to tape our shin guards and our socks to keep them up.
The advancements of modern technology.
Exactly. We also used to put them in boiling water to put on our shins so that they would fit perfectly. I'm guessing that's changed too.
There's a turn and fire from Cora Sundit. On the money, though, ready for the save was Sweetland. Sweetland has allowed just 10 goals, including the one today, all season. Meanwhile, Thomason's only given up 3.
So interesting how these 2 3A games really have tracked with each other. They've scored around the same time.
Try from Snow. Didn't miss by a whole lot.
It was a great shot. They should be cheering about that and getting the team back fired up. That was a great shot. But what I was saying is you have on both fields a late goal, and then everything's just kind of been a regular soccer game. There hasn't been a lot of scoring. Same with what's going on behind us.
IMT substitution here for Waukee Northwest is the goal scorer, Natalie Elliott. Checks back in. Lost it on a tackle on the far side, though, by Emily Martin. Styles Pena had it popped away by Simonini. Ball will stay in possession of Bettendorf. Incredible to look at Waukee Northwest. Of all 12 of their wins, they have not been scored on in any of those wins. Only scored on during games they drew this year.
Yeah, I mean, just looking in general at her, she's allowed 3 goals in the entire season. Again, you can see why she's a recruit and just doing outstanding.
Check that. 1 win they got scored on. Your Valley Tigers were able to get 1 on them when they lost 2-1 at the hands of the Wolves earlier this season back on April 21st.
And that's what's interesting about Waukee's game is that their streak that they're on right now, right? They're 2.
Boy, look at Hummel.
She makes you just stop talking because you're just watching her and you're seeing what she's going to do next. The fact that they've, it'll be 2 years, I think is what you were saying, that they will have not lost a game. And that's an impressive feat.
Almost to the date 2 years ago here at the 3A tournament.
Oh, yeah.
When Valley beat them in the semifinals. Oh. Boy, Kinsey Shea shrugged that off like it was nothing.
All of us, PA, we all were whoop.
That had my forehead hurting from here, and it was like it didn't even touch her.
Gosh, you can just see the frustration on the Waukee Northwest coaches. I think they would agree with my comments about the potential that Waukee has, and they're not meeting that potential. Don't get me wrong, they're still playing a great soccer game, and they're winning 1-0. But they just have the propensity to do so much more.
Well, much like we've talked about, Natalie, at this point in our 2A game, this is exactly the scoreline we were looking at. Norwalk had the lead. I'm sure Waukee Northwest and these coaches know they've had so much of the ball in this second half to not take advantage of some of these chances. They hope that doesn't come back to haunt them in the final 5 minutes of the game.
Couldn't have said it better. You don't want to haunt them. You don't want to come back and then all of a sudden Bettendorf scores, and then again they have the momentum and you've lost it.
Right now, Wolves have really tilted the field in their favor. We've been looking pretty exclusively to our right for these last 3 to 4 minutes. The old adage is the best defense is a good offense, and Waukee Northwest really living by those words right now here, trying to drift the remaining minutes off the clock here, leading 1-0 in the final 8:44 of this 3A semifinal. Valley behind us still has a 1-0 lead. A lot more time left in that second half than is in this one. Nifty move there from Crowett.
It's a great turn, opening her body, letting the ball go by her body, and then shifting out. And there's Grace in the middle of the half.
You wonder if anybody take a chance at one from midfield.
I know I would.
Pick your head up and look and see where she is.
Mm-hmm. But you can tell she's a smart keeper. She's a very much aware of the space behind her.
Yeah, feels like a situation where if she did start to gather someone was lining up to let one fly, she'd turn and get back to within striking distance of knocking one down, and would have time to do so with a try from that far out.
Yeah, something I did when I was a kid when we would play indoor, because a lot of these girls will play indoor in the winter, obviously, because there's snow on the ground, is there was this one goalie who would drop kick it every time, and I'd always pretend like I was tying my shoe or moving, and when he would drop kick it, I'd score it really quick. Then the ref told me I couldn't keep doing that.
How clever. Elliott with a try from a ways out. Wide right did have an IMT insurance substitution there before that shot. That was Lainey Sundit who comes in, and now Hayden Kohler will take a spell in the game here. Coming out is Nia Drish. All substitutions brought to you by IMT Insurance. Head to imtins.com to learn how you can worry-free with IMT. Now the sun continuing to sit lower and lower in the sky here this afternoon in Ames, and as it goes down, so do the chances for an improbable come-from-behind win for Bettendorf. There is still time, but it's been an impressive second half from the Wolves as they have kept Bettendorf at bay for almost the entirety of this second half. Waukee Northwest not in a hurry to go anywhere, but right as I say it, a beautiful move from Sundit. She might have caught a leg on that cross in from outside the box. That's going to be a set piece here from in tight just outside of the 18.
This is a difficult position to have a set piece. It's just like the one that they had in the first half because you're right outside the 18. So it's not like you can chip it just because your wall is right there. And the wall, if they are a true wall, they won't jump, so you can't go underneath. And she's way out on the left, so she hopefully is a left foot.
Simonini is left-footed.
Okay, and then she'll swing left, get it as high as she can above the wall, but still low so that they can get a head on it, because you don't want it too high because it's going to go way past them.
Simonini goes for goal. Oh, that was just high of the crossbar.
That was a great shot attempt. She was trying to do the whole bend it like Beckham. Where we get that from? But see how it's such a tight area. You can't get that. You can't get it over the wall and down in such a tight area.
Unless you've got some wicked bend on that shot, which Simonini had a pretty good amount of bend on that one. Waukee Northwest playing like a defending champion right now. This has been a very polished second half. As a long try off the crossbar from Cora Sundit. She said, I'll have a go.
I don't think Riley Sweetland was ready for that. That dipped very quickly and hit off the crossbar. If I were Bettendorf right now, I would be yelling at as a captain, I'd be yelling at my team saying we got 5 minutes left. And we need to do something with that. They're only down 1 goal.
Bulldogs who have been stymied in this second half. Really since that opening 10-minute stretch where, I think you said it, if you watched this game for the first 10 minutes, you were betting on Bettendorf was your line.
Yep.
Well, Waukee Northwest has turned the screws up, and the Bulldogs have not had an answer.
I'll say with these last 5 minutes, I think both teams are going to walk away upset if the score stays the same, right? Bettendorf that they didn't win the game, and Waukee that they did not play their own game. Granted, I can tell the coaches are pretty frustrated with the refs, but aside from that, you can tell that they are not playing the game that they normally play.
Oh, the Wolves will undoubtedly, if this scoreline holds, be thrilled about heading to another final, but the word after the game might be we're going to need to do more, whether it's Valley or Ankeny Centennial waiting for them. In the final tomorrow, Bettendorf trying to change their fortunes here late in this game, but they need to get the ball back for starters.
And if the game continues as is, it would behoove Valley Valley or Ankeny Centennial, whoever wins that game, to not look at the score and go, so Waukee's not that great. No. Sometimes we just play some off games, or you just have an off moment of time. And so you'll have 2 very strong competitors in this final game, no matter which 2 of the 4 it is.
Well, and the other thing to consider, too, when you think about great champions, teams that are able to make long runs like this 3A power in Waukee Northwest has made, they learn how to win with their B game.
Bingo. And I cannot get over the fact that they have been as successful as they have been in the last 5 years, only being a school for 5 years. Again, I know we don't talk too much, obviously, about hockey around this, but it's like the Vegas Golden Knights that we talk about. They just continue to be such a great team in such a short period of time of existence.
There's your hockey factoid of the day. Well, Natalie, you know a thing or two about long runs of sustained success. Your Valley Tigers in your era, quite a number of seasons undefeated, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think it was almost 5. I think we had 5 years, just shy of 5 years, that we did not lose a game. So a great streak that was unfortunately ended my senior year on the way to state. But just outstanding work by Rob Chapman, outstanding team. Some of the most fun years of soccer were those high school years.
It's amazing the human mind, isn't it? All those wins, all that success, but the one you probably think about most is the loss to Urbandale.
Yeah, if I think about it. It's not great if you're a 35-year-old thinking about high school soccer. But when I'm sitting here watching the soccer games, I certainly do think about it. And again, the teams have changed so much. It was always Valley versus Kennedy, and Kennedy's not even in this tournament. That was really surprising to me. But again, 2 of the 4 schools didn't even exist. So,
well, everybody's up now for a set piece for Bettendorf. They need one to find level. There are just 2 minutes to play. Waukee Northwest looking to stay in the throne room here in the 3A tournament. They have a 1-0 lead in the dying minutes. A long delay here that they did stop the clock for.
And I'm not quite understanding, Ben, what's going on. I'm seeing a girl that had to come off the field.
Well, they want Olivia Snow to get back out there. Obviously is one of their leading scorers. But she's going to have to wait until the next pause here.
And lots of yelling and refs they're just yelling everywhere.
And there's a drop ball to start. So now here comes Snow. Styles Pena has it, trying to conjure up some magic here against this Titan Waukee Northwest Wolves team. Sweetland's out to play it.
Again, you can feel the intensity. You can see the urgency between the two teams.
Sweetland not able to get it very far. Hummel's going to take it to the corner here and smartly kill some time.
Yeah,
Trying to work it free from her is Hayden Kohler.
Great, thoughtful play. Get the whole team forward, hang out in the corner, protect that ball. And Bettendorf needs to get around and hit it off her so they can get the throw in and move the ball forward.
Bulldogs trying to muscle out of the corner here. Waukee Northwest has them completely closed off. Under a minute to play. The Wolves less than 60 seconds from continuing this incredible unbeaten streak. This one is blasted ahead by Kohler. Chested down by Martin. She'll play it ahead to Snow. Is there a late twist? Snow here looking to streak it through. Coming out is Thomason. And one more time, cutting away the difference. The senior goalkeeper has been poised all afternoon long.
And a great position. And look who's up there about to try and score that goal. Emily Martin, who normally plays defense. I mean, gosh, they're trying as hard as they can to get that ball forward.
10 seconds to go. And the astounding 2-year unbeaten streak of Waukee Northwest will continue. They will defend their 3A title, a polished 1-0 win today over Bettendorf as the Wolves are headed to the state final once again.
What a great match to watch this last 80 minutes. Bettendorf did a great job at the opening, and they continue to play a strong, solid game, as did Waukee Northwest. Like I said a few minutes ago, and I'll reiterate now, I do think that both teams are probably walking away with just a little bit more left on the table. Bettendorf needed that energy back, and Northwest knew that they could play a stronger, harder, better game. But they got the result that they wanted, and hopefully they can recoup so that they can have a much stronger game tomorrow.
Bettendorf's first loss this season to a Iowa school. Their only loss, St. Thomas Aquinas, which is outside of the state. And it comes in a heartbreaking fashion here in the semifinals. The teams will shake hands, and some good sportsmanship here to close out this 3A final. It is yet again this juggernaut Waukee Northwest team marching their way into the finals, where we'll see who awaits them, whether it is Valley, who's got a 1-0 lead right now with just over 19 to play on the field behind us, or can Ankeny Centennial find an equalizer and a winner late? Time will tell on that. But for this Bettendorf team that will see their state championship hopes dashed this afternoon, hard to watch when you look at the seniors. They're the ones that you can see the emotion on their faces right now. Kelsey Smith, Destiny Borland, Olivia Snow, Riley Sweetland. But that's the only four for a state semifinalist team in Bettendorf that you can bet. Allison Sanyi saying, we'll be back here next year.
Yeah, that's what I look at when I look at this roster of Bettendorf. Like, what a bummer for those gals. Again, I've totally been there. It's just the worst, losing after you've been a really good competitive team for so long and then losing at state. But the coach and the rest of the team should be jazzed because they have a ton of underclassmen. They've got a good chunk of juniors as well, and they will be back. Like, we could make some bets that they will be back for next year's tournament. So as much as this one stings, they'll have their moment, their grief, and then they'll recoup, and then they'll be back for next year.
Bettendorf Bulldogs' 16th state tournament appearance in school history stops here as Natalie Elliott, the goal scorer, and the game-winning goal scorer, steps ahead as the celebration is on for Waukee Northwest, this powerhouse, undefeated team A stretch that dates back to the 2024 state tournament when we were playing in Muscatine continues. They'll have one more game to look at another title coming up tomorrow afternoon here in Ames.
And you know what I think about with Northwest is I've been saying it. I know I'm a little harder on them, but I've been in their shoes before. When you know how good your team is and you aren't playing to your fullest potential, you're kind of ticked at yourself. And I'm guessing a lot of those players, especially some of the seniors and the captains, will be focused on that tonight, especially because they don't have another time or another day in between their games with all these weather changes. And if they're playing Valley, who it looks like they're playing as of right now with 18 minutes left in that game, they're going to remember 2 years ago when they lost to them in the state tournament. So if I was Waukee Northwest, I would be grateful for the win, and then I would be focusing and prioritizing how could I have done better in that game.
I think I'd almost rather Waukee Northwest have played their best game this afternoon if I was Valley or Ankeny Centennial than have played like this, because they're going to maybe have a little fire under their backsides trying to get ready for the championship game tomorrow. So only time will tell what tomorrow looks like, who their opponent will be, as the game behind is closing out here in 16 minutes and 45 seconds. But that's it for us here on the IGHSAU Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Thanks to Randy Nielsen and the rest of our crew for another terrific broadcast here in Ames, and to my partner on the broadcast and in life, Natalie Gislason. Thanks so much for all your analysis here today. We'll have coverage of all 3 state final games tomorrow here on the IGHSAU Digital Network. Until then, I'm Ben Gislason. A win for the defending